Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining for the ISKCON Portland Sunday Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class. Today we are going to read from Canto 1, Chapter 11, verse number 28. But before we get started, we'll recite the Mangalacharan prayers and Śrīmad Bhāgavatam invocation prayers and then get to the verse for today. Okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम राम। Okay. Next, I'll recite the invocation prayers for Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Okay, so I'll share my screen for the verse for today, and then we can get started with that. Okay, so Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, verse number 28. It's a continuation in the chapter where Lord Krishna has entered Dwarka after the Mahabharat war. So I'll recite the verse a few times and then request devotees to recite it as well. प्रविष्टस्तु गृहं पित्रो परिष्वक्तः स्वमातृभिः ववन्दे शिरसा सप्ता देवकी प्रमुखा मुदा प्रविष्टस्तु गृहं पित्रो परिष्वक्तः स्वमातृभिः ववन्दे शिरसा सप्ता देवकी प्रमुखा मुदा प्रविष्टस्तु गृहं पित्रो परिष्वक्तः स्वमातृभिः ववन्दे शिरसा सप्ता देवकी प्रमुखा मुदा प्रविष्टस्तु गृहं पित्रो परिष्वक्तः स्वमातृभिः ववन्दे शिरसा सप्ता देवकी प्रमुखा मुदा. Would anyone else like to recite?
Pravishta.
Go ahead, Chandrasekhar.
Pravishtastu grihapitro parishvakta swamatrivihi vavande shirasha sapta devaki pramukamuda.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Pravishtastu gruham pitra parishvakta swamatruvi vavande sirasa sapta devaki pramukha muda.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Pravistas. Hare Krishna Mataji. Pravistas tu gruham pitro parivakstraha swamaribhyo vavande sirasa sapta devaki pramukha muda. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Hare Bol. Pravistastu gruham pitro pravishvakta swamatribihi vavande sirasa sapta devaki pramukha muda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pravishtastu graham petro parishvakta swamatrabhi vande sirasa sapta devaki paramukhamuta. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I think everyone has chanted, so we'll move to the synonyms, translation, and purport. Pravishtaha, after entering. Tu, but. Griham, houses. Pitro, of the father. Parishvaktaha, embraced. Swamatribhi, by his own mothers. Vavande, offered obeisances. Shirsa, his head. Sapta, 7. Devaki, Pramukha, headed by. Muda, gladly. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After entering the house of his father, he was embraced by the mothers present, and the Lord offered his obeisances unto them by placing his head at their feet. The mothers were headed by Devaki, his real mother. It appears that Vasudev, the father of Lord Krishna, had completely separate residential quarters where he lived with his 18 wives, out of whom Srimati Devaki is the real mother of Lord Krishna. But in spite of this, all other stepmothers were equally affectionate to him, as will be evident from the following verse. Lord Krishna also did not distinguish his real mother from his stepmothers, and he equally offered his obeisances unto all the wives of Vasudev present on the occasion. According to scriptures also, there are 7 mothers: the real mother, the wife of the spiritual master, the wife of a Brahmana, the wife of the king, the cow, the nurse, and the earth. All of them are mothers. Even by this injunction of the Shastras, the stepmother, who is the wife of the father, is also as good as the mother, because the father is also one of the spiritual masters. Lord Krishna, the Lord of the universe, plays the part of an ideal son just to teach others how to treat their stepmothers. Jai Srila Prabhupada. I'll read the translation once again. After entering the house of his father, he was embraced by the mothers present, and the Lord offered his obeisances unto them by placing his head at their feet. The mothers were headed by Devaki, his real mother. So this verse, with its translation and purport, has many things, many points that we can drill further into, discuss more. I could pick, I think, three points here when I was preparing for the class. So Lord Krishna paid obeisances to all the mothers present. So the first thing is, the first theme is that even for the stepmothers, in general, when we think of the word stepmother, we get a negative feeling in our heart. We get some negative images. Even what to say about the modern Kali Yuga mothers, stepmothers, but even in the Vedic histories, we see instances where stepmothers were not so nice. In fact, they were pretty mean to their sons, and the relationship was not ideal, was not like a mother and a son. But Lord Krishna is setting an example about how to treat the stepmother. So his compassion and his equal attitude for all living entities is coming out through this verse. So his and so one is about that he's equal to everyone. So even he's treating his stepmothers in the same way, giving them the same respect as his own mother. Then the second point is that he's doing that to set an example. Although Lord Krishna is above all the rules and injunctions, there is no need for him to do anything. But he still does the work to set example for others to follow. We have some verses in Bhagavad Gita which also corroborate the same point. 3.22, for example. And then the third, so one is the ideal behavior shown by Lord Krishna. Second thing is there is really no need for him to do anything. He's a supreme Lord, but he does that to set example. And the third one is about the mothers. Uh, uh, the Vatsalya ras between a mother and a child, and then the seven types of mothers, which Srila Prabhupada has quoted. This is a verse by Chanakya Pandit, uh, and so we can discuss a lot about the seven kinds of mothers. So maybe we can start with the seven kind of mothers. Trying to see my notes. Before that, yeah, there was another point that Krishna, um, uh, in this particular incarnation, when he came as Krishna himself, um, he was trying to give pleasure to everybody who was present, who was a devotee, in whatever rasa, in whatever bhav they had with Lord Krishna. Although Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that he is the mother of everyone. There is a verse where 9.17 where he says he's the father, he's the mother, he's the grandfather, he's the nurse, he's basically everything for us, for all the living entities. So what is the meaning? Like Krishna is claiming that he himself is the mother, the how that we are the mode that we are trying to discuss in this verse is between a mother and a child. But Lord Krishna is saying that he himself is the mother of everyone. So what is really a mother? Mother is basically someone who loves, who has a capacity to give a lot of love to the other person in the relationship. So all the mothers, and Lord Krishna is the one who is our supreme well-wisher. He's for every living entity. So from if you consider a mother as someone who nurtures the other person, who loves the other person unconditionally, then the best mother is Lord Krishna. He's the one who's providing for each and every living entity, uh, from birth till death. Everything is provided by Lord Krishna with so much of love and nurturing. Like if we are a grateful person, we can see all the gifts that Lord Krishna has given us, like starting from this body, our thoughts, our whatever we have is all given by Lord Krishna. The air that we breathe, the water, the food that we get, everything is given by Krishna. So in that sense, Krishna is our real mother. He's the father, he's the mother, the nurse, and the grandfather, as he says so in 9.17 in Bhagavad Gita. So, so mother is someone who loves the other living entity. So with that, let's see the seven kind of mothers first, and then we'll go to the other points. There's just so much our scriptures are giving us the knowledge which we can talk about, and we can also have a discussion later. So We'll start with the 7 types of mothers. There is the verse by Chanakya Pandit, I noted somewhere, but the main thing is the translation, which is already here. So 7 types of mother. One is the real mother, which is your biological mother. The second one is the wife of the spiritual master, Guru Patni. Third is wife of a Brahmana. Then fourth is the wife of the king, which is queen. Fifth is cow. Sixth is nurse. And 7 is the earth. So, and before going into that, so here, Srila Prabhupada is saying that the other mothers, the stepmothers of Lord Krishna, it's stepmother is not coming in this list of 7, but they are also mothers because you treat father as the spiritual master. So going by the rule number 2, not the rule, but the category number 2, the wife of the spiritual master. So all the wives of Vasudev were mothers of Lord Krishna because Vasudev, being a father, is one of the spiritual masters for Lord Krishna. And we also just a historical thing that Devaki, so Devaki had 6 other sisters who also got married to Vasudev on the same day when Devaki got married. So 7 sisters got married to Vasudev. And apart from that, there were 11 more. So 7 plus 11, total 18 wives Vasudevji had. And they were, so apart from Devaki, the other 17 mothers, they were all the stepmothers, but they had so much love for Lord Krishna. It was not the love, it was not the opposite of love or envious nature or hatred that we have seen from other examples. Kali Yuga is full of such examples where the mothers go to the great. There are so many. There are mothers who kill their own children in the womb, or even after the child is born. There are children who are found in trash cans. I mean, the mother had the baby but threw the child away. I believe in New York there are some places where they have signs that please don't throw your baby in the trash. If you're unable to take care, just bring them to the nearest police station. No questions asked, but just don't throw your baby in the trash. I mean, this is the kind of instruction that has we have degraded so much that this is the kind of instruction that the public has to receive, that please don't throw your child, your newborn child, who's totally unable to take care of himself or herself, who is utterly dependent on you, please don't throw him or her in the trash. So these mothers have totally degraded from the kind of mother, the real motherhood. So we are not talking about those mothers, but that's unfortunately the case. And those are the real biological mothers who are doing that. But stepmothers, if real mothers can be so much degraded, what to talk about stepmothers who do not have that kind of relationship. But even in our Vedic scriptures, there have been examples where stepmothers were not so nice to their stepsons. One example being Lord Krishna himself when he came as Lord Ram. Kaikeyi, temporarily, it was not always there. Kaikeyi, in fact, loved Lord Ram so much that it said that Lord Ram would call Kaikeyi as mother and his own biological mother, Kaushalya, as elder mom. What's the word? Badi Ma, Ma and Badi Ma. Instead of calling his mother as Ma, as mother, and Kaikeyi as Choti Ma or younger Ma, because they were all, wives of his father. So he loved Kaikeyi so much, and Kaikeyi in turn loved Lord Ram a lot. But temporarily she got poisoned. Her mind got poisoned by Manthara, and she displayed the behavior of a stereotypical stepmom who is super envious of the child and doesn't want to give the child have anything good in their life. And we all know the story how Kaikeyi was responsible for banishing Lord Ram to the forest for 14 years so that she could have her own biological son, Bharat, be instated on the throne. So there is example in our scripture. There are two more examples. Dhruva Maharaj story. So Dhruv was also taunted by his stepmother when Dhruv Maharaj, when he was just a 5-year-old child, he wanted to sit in the lap of his father along with his stepbrother who was already there. But the stepmom was very envious and she wouldn't let Dhruv sit in the lap of his own father. And that's a different story altogether. But we saw the behavior of a stereotypical stepmother there, full of envy, full of in that case hatred. The emotion was very strong, and she did not care that the child was just a young 5-year-old child. And what's the harm in that child just sitting in the lap of his father? But she could not tolerate even that. Then there is another example in our scripture of Chitraketu. Um, Chitraketu Maharaj had tons, thousands, I think lakhs of wives because he wanted to have a child and he was not able to get a child through any of the wives. And then through the mercy of a devotee, Angira Muni and Narad Muni, he got a child through his chief wife, Prityaduti. And that brought up the envy in the hearts of all other wives of Maharaj Chitraketu. And they degraded so much, they became so envious um, of the Prityaduti, and they were so angry because now Maharaj Chitraketu was spending all the time with the chief queen and the son, and was not totally neglecting the other wives. So the wives got very envious, and they uh, fell down to stoop down to such a level that they poisoned that small child. So these are the examples of behavior of stepmothers, and in our from our scriptures, you know, we have all these fairy tales that the children read. Cinderella is a very popular uh, story which many children have grown up with, where the stepmother does all kind of nasty things. So stepmother brings out a negative connotation in most cases. Even when there are stepmothers who are trying to be very nice, they still have to bear that um, story around their behavior. You know, stepmothers, all their behavior is scrutinized by other family members. Even if there was a real mother, biological mother, if she was trying to scold the child for this child's benefit, like, you know, disciplining a child, that would be taken as normal. But if the stepmother would do the same thing, she would be treated with a different, you know, the lens becomes different when you're seeing the behavior of a stepmom. You would think that, oh, she's doing this because she's a stepmom. So yeah, stepmothers have this kind of negative connotation. Uh, but Lord Krishna was trying to set an example where we should give equal respect to the stepmothers as well, and treating them as he was treating his stepmothers as the wives of a spiritual master. So, so yeah, let's go to the examples, various some details of this 7 types of mothers. So number 1 is the real mother, and we have this list. When we are going through this list, the idea is to feel that sense of gratitude that we can have. In fact, it is there in all our in everyone's heart. That. But express it or just think about it. We can all contemplate for ourselves that how grateful we are to have these 7 mothers in our life. So number 1, the real mother, the easiest one. Everybody has a biological mother. And as we are growing up, we may or may not, as children, realize how much sacrifice our mothers have done for us. But I am a mom, and when I became a mom, I realized, oh my God, all these things that my mother did for me, um, how hard those were. Just to raise two children was a very heavy task, very, very big responsibility on your shoulders. And my mom, she had three children. I was the second one. And how she took care of all of us. I remember my mother was a teacher. She was, in fact, a principal in a school, and she had to get up really early every day. She would cook breakfast and lunch for us, pack everything, do all the household chores, and then go to the school. And yeah, after coming back, she was always working. I mean, I hardly saw her taking rest. And three of us were so demanding. We sometimes, I remember, everybody had their favorite dish, and she would sometimes cook three times for us, three different things for three children. Oh my God, I can't imagine. I mean, it is so hard. And even with that, I don't think if I showed my gratitude enough to her for bringing up, bringing us up with so much love. And we even had some financial hardships at some point of time, but she shielded us from so many things and gave us the best that she had. I can totally realize, I could realize that after becoming a mother, the things that I'm doing for my children, I could just see, how much my mom did that to me. So I'm I'm very, very grateful to my mother, the real mother. And most of us have similar experiences with our mothers. And those who have become mothers can also see that they are doing something similar for their children. So that bond between a mother and a child is very strong. In fact, it's said that that's the closest representative of the love of Krishna for all living entities. Mother and child example is comes closest to that, where there is unconditional love, especially when the child is very small. Once they become older, they get their own personalities, and they are like two adults after a certain age. But when the child is really small, totally dependent, helpless, dependent on the mother, for starting from her milk all the way to all kinds of care, in and the mother stays up in the night to take care of the. So there is a lot of unconditional love, and that's how Lord Krishna is for all of us. So that, and all of us have had mothers, but we may not remember when we were, an infant. So that can be experienced only when we are an adult. But yeah, so having that, the 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 love between a mother and a child is one of the representatives, closest representatives of the love of God for all of us. So the first mom, that was the easy one. That the second is the wife of the spiritual master. So there is one example of a lot from Lord Krishna's pastimes itself when he went to the ashram of Sandipani Muni. The wife of Sandipani Muni would take care of all the disciples who were residing in the Gurukul. I remember she's the one who sent Krishna and Sudama to fetch firewood so that it could be used for cooking. So she was the one who was cooking for all the students in the Gurukul. So the wife of the Guru was assisting the Guru. So Guru was doing the imparting of knowledge, but there's so much work in the background that needs to happen to get the Gurukul going. And the wife of the spiritual master would do that. That was her duty, and a very important duty. You may not get the credit. We all know about Sandipani Muni, but not maybe not. You don't know the name of his wife, but she was the one who provided. And similarly, all other gurus, I mean, who had wives, the wives would take care of the children like their own child. So the wife of the spiritual master, the Guru Patni, becomes as good as your own mother for the students who are in that ashram. Another example is of Janava Devi, who was the wife of Nityananda Prabhu. She was a very learned person, a very great devotee, and so she was she after Lord Nityananda finished his pastimes on earth, she was here, and she became the leader of the Vaishnavas at that time. She resided at Radha Kund, and she was carried in a palanquin by all the Goswamis of that time. So she had got all the respect as the wife of a guru from very senior Vaishnavas as well. So Janava Devi was the wife of the guru. Okay, so then the third category is the wife of a Brahmana. Again, Brahmanas are supposed to be teachers. Um, in the Vedic society, they are the ones who are imparting knowledge. So the wife also assists the Brahmanas uh, in doing that duty. Um, that's a typical role the wife of a Brahmana plays, and for that reason, she is also considered a mother. But our Bhagavatam, Śrīmad Bhagavatam, has a different, 180 degree of example as well. Bhagavatam is full of these kind of extreme cases, just to show us the full spectrum that's possible. There are, it's full of supposed contradictions, like that's a different class altogether. It was a lovely class that I heard by Radhika Raman Prabhu, and there are other devotees who have also talked about this. This topic, like how Srimad Bhagavatam has examples which beat the stereotype. So normally we would think that the father is instructing the child, or father, yeah, uh, yeah, father is instructing the child, and the child is worshipping the father in that sense. But we have the example of Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu, where the roles reversed. Prahlad was such an elevated person, a devotee, whereas his father. So in that situation, it is reversed. So Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. Similarly, normally we would say that demigods, devatas, are better than asuras. But then we have the example of Vritrasur, who was born in a demon body, but he was a great devotee. And in the same category, so we have many such examples in Srimad Bhagavatam where the roles get reversed. And in this context, I have one example here when we talk about the wife of Brahmana, where the Yagya Patnis, or the wives of Brahmana in Krishna Līlā, how the roles got reversed between the Brahmana and the wives. Usually, the Brahmana uh, would be the learned one, and the wives would be less educated and would be learning from the husband. But in that particular example, the even though the wives were illiterate, they were not so they were not the pandits or learned people in the shastras and the Vedas, but they had the real knowledge, much more than their husbands had, the Brahmanas had, about devotion for Lord Krishna. So I think most of us know that story where Lord Krishna uh, was hungry, and he sent his cowherd boyfriends to get some food from the Brahmanas who were performing sacrifice on one of the day when they were in the forest. But the Brahmanas were so busy in doing their havan and everything, and they did not give the food which was being asked. And so the boys went back and reported that to Krishna and Balaram, and they sent them again. And this time the boys went to the Patnis, the wives of the Brahmanas, and the wives of the Brahmanas were pure devotees, and they went against their husbands, and they gave or prepared very nice foodstuffs, and they sent everything to the Supreme Lord, to Lord Krishna. And so yeah, that's how the story goes. But yeah, the wife of a Brahmana in what we are reading right now, she is also a mother, because she assists the Brahmana, and yeah, everyone, since Brahmana is like the teacher for everyone in the society, a Brahmana is supposed to be a teacher, and his wife assists him in that role, and plays and is one of the mothers for everyone. Okay, so number 4 is the wife of the king. So the queens are also supposed to take care of the subjects. So the wife of a Brahmana is supposed to take care of the subjects in the society, where in terms of imparting knowledge to them. But the wife of the king, which is the queens, they're also supposed to nurture the subjects. They're also supposed to take care of the subjects, but in a different way. They are not the ones who are imparting knowledge or assisting somebody in imparting knowledge, but they are assisting the kings in taking care of the day-to-day needs of the praja, of the subjects. Uh, and enforcing law or whatever is needed for a peaceful living of the subjects in the kingdom. So the wife of the king is also a mother, because a mother means somebody who nurtures, who takes care. So in that sense, all these people take care of you, they nurture you, so they are your mothers. One example, wife of a king or a queen is from Krishna Līlā, Queen Kunti. She was such an exalted person, such a great devotee, and she wrote those beautiful. She recited those beautiful poem verses, which are celebrated verses, where when she ran behind Lord Krishna when he was about to depart to Dwarka. So we are in chapter 11. So chapter 8 was that chapter where uh, Kunti Maharani was trying to stop Lord Krishna from leaving. And she offered the beautiful prayers from her heart, which are sung by great devotees. Srila Prabhupada was very fond of those prayers and would recite them again and again. So, so Queen Kunti, we are grateful that she did not hold herself back. What if she was just standing in the back, like, I'm a woman, how can I go there? But she went. She was a she had that kind of status, or she was in that kind of role that she went ahead. Normally the ladies would stay behind, away, but she ran. She was in front of Lord Krishna, next to him, and she recited all those prayers, which we are all grateful to have in our lives. Um, the world would have been bereft of those prayers if she had held herself back and not recited those prayers. So, so the wife of a king is also a mother. Then number 5, very beautiful. The mother cow. Cow is also a mother. So mm, many of us here who grew up in the Indian culture, for us, it's we know this while growing up itself, that we call her as mother cow, Gau Mata. Uh, Many of us have had that experience while growing up, like we would, that we respect mother cow. And but the Kali Yuga has made us so much degraded. The society has degraded so much that uh, instead people are eating cow. Even in India, where people have that knowledge, but now in the name of becoming modern, people are eating all kind of things, and they are ready to eat their own mother, who's mother cow. That's very unfortunate situation. When people all over the world are eating cow, you can still say, oh, they are ignorant. But people who even know are indulging in these kind of activities because of uh, their in the name of modernization or whatever. So that's one of the heinous crimes that you can do. But that's such a rampant thing going on in the world. Um, yeah, mother cow. Cow is called a mother because she gives the milk which nurtures us. When the child is born, child drinks the milk of the mother for some time, some months or 1 year or 1.5 years, sometimes maybe a little longer. But after that, it is supplemented, or it is like totally replaced by the cow's milk. So cows and the milk is the one which causes the brain tissues to function well, where we can understand spiritual matters, and it nourishes our body and our mind, everything. So uh, first we were drinking the milk of the mother, our biological mother, and then we are drinking the milk of the cow. So cow in that sense is on the equal platform as your own biological mother, because you are drinking her milk. So we should be so grateful to cow for giving us that most beneficial thing. And cow is such a pure person in the mode of goodness. She eats grass, which is there everywhere, and her body converts the grass into such a beneficial, nutrient filled milk for all of us to drink. And she produces way more milk than her calf can drink. So she has been designed in such a way by Lord Krishna that she can give way more milk for human beings. So currently, this vegan concept has become very popular, where people abstain from milk, thinking that you are depriving the calves from the milk of their mom, but that's not true. Cows can produce way more milk than their calves can drink. We know from Lord Krishna's stories, like he was surrounded by cows. He loves cows. His name is Govinda, Gopal, and he would drink directly from the udders of the cow. And the whole Vaishya culture in the Varnashram system, they do go raksha, which is like they protect cows, and they use all the products given by the cow, uh, all the products which can be made from the milk, and even the waste products of the cow are so beneficial. The go mutra, which is the urine, and the gobar, the stool of the cow is also so pure and so beneficial in a varnashram, in a Vedic society, where the stool of the cow uh, is antiseptic, and it's a manure. So manure for you don't have to buy artificial manures to replenish the nutrients in the soil. The waste product of the cow does all those great things. So everything that the cow produces is beneficial for human beings, and her milk is also abundant. If you take care of the cow, she can give you so much milk, way more than what you can consume. But unfortunately, these days the cows are mistreated so much, and they are kept bound in cages, and they are injected with hormones to increase their milk quantity. And the cows know that these people don't care for us, and we are ultimately gonna go. They're gonna kill us any day. And especially as soon as for the female cow, as soon as she stops giving milk, she's sent to the butcher, to the slaughterhouse. So just imagine, I mean, can you do that to your mother? You were drinking her milk, and once she stops giving you milk, you kill her. Or once she becomes old and not able to do things for you, do you just go send your mom to a butcher? No, but you're doing that to the cow. So many people have become so insensitive, and they are killing killing cows knowingly and unknowingly. So yeah, there is a debate which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had with Chand Kazi. This is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave similar arguments to Chand Kazi, who was a Muslim, a cow eater. Like, how can you eat cows who give you milk, who are like your mother? So this whole thing is documented in Chaitanya Charitamrita as well. Importance of cows and um, yeah. So in that vegan thing, some people have the wrong notion that the uh, the milk is only supposed to be created for the cow's baby, which is the calf. So that is not a correct theory. But some people turn to veganism because they are so disgusted by the torture, ill treatment of cows that is happening in the dairy industry, which is something I can, yeah, I also feel so bad. But yeah, as devotees, we know that Krishna loves milk. He loves milk products, and when we use that milk and offer it to Krishna, the cow also gets the benefit. And yeah, so with that, attitude, with that feeling, we can go ahead and do whatever best we can do. There are all kinds of milk available in the store, organic, and then there are some which would say that the cows have been fed in the pastures, they are not kept in the cages. So you can see which level, which where you want to be. But yeah, uh, milk is very beneficial for us. Best is to get it from a cow who is in a ahimsa farm, where she will not be slaughtered when she stops giving milk. So where the cows are cared for and nurtured. If we get milk from those dairies, if we are fortunate enough to have those dairies, then we should try to support that culture. Okay, so there's a lot on the cow concept itself. We'll move to the numbers 6 and 7. So the sixth mother mentioned is the nurse. Dhai, we call it in Hindi. I think in the Sanskrit was it's Dhatri. So somebody who takes care of you when you're a child, a young baby, along with your mother. So we know the story of Putana. So when she came to kill Lord Krishna, she actually came as a mother or a nurse. She wanted to give her breast milk to Lord Krishna, and she's one of the nurse category person, and how Lord Krishna sucked her milk, and although he killed her in this bodily form, but gave her the ultimate gift of liberation from this material world. So nurse is also a kind of mother who takes care of you, who nurtures you when you need that. There's another place where I was hearing. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one of his names is Vishwambar, which is broken into Vishwa, which is world, and Ambar is a nurse. So he is the nurse for the entire world, because he is giving us the holy name. He gave the Sankirtan movement, started the Sankirtan movement, and he distributed the holy name freely. So to everyone, each and everyone, without looking for any qualification. Just like a mother gives the milk to the child, she doesn't ask for the qualification of the child, she gives. And in the similar way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu nurtured us, cared for us by giving us the holy name, and he's the Vishwambar, the nurse for the entire universe. So that was something sweet which I heard in one lecture. And there is one verse in Bhāgavatam, like there's a full chapter on Putana, where a lot of learnings are there. And then so that's Canto 10, but even in Canto 3, 3.2.23, there is a verse which glorifies Lord Krishna, like how he awarded the greatest benediction to Putana, who came to kill him, disguised as a nurse. Okay, so the last one is Mother Earth. So these days, there's a lot of awareness, or people are trying to talk about taking care of Earth, not pollute her, to not basically mishandle, damage Earth. There are groups which are coming up with various, eco-friendly things, with the whole notion that we should not pollute and damage Mother Earth. But it's coming directly from our scriptures, where Mother Earth or Earth is to be treated as a mother. I mean, it's so common that we just say Mother Earth, but Earth is one of the mothers. How unconditionally Mother Earth gives to everyone. Her bounties are available to everyone. There are trees everywhere. Even in the forest, there are so many trees. The fruits, the abundant fruits, way more than how much the animals can eat. And you can farm, you can just grow so many things on earth, and you dump things on her, trample her, but she doesn't do anything. In fact, she's the biggest example of tolerance trees and Mother Earth, like who tolerate everything that happened on them, and still keeps giving us, keeps giving us. So Earth is a totally one of our mothers, but we can as devotees, when we recognize so clearly that she is one of our mothers, we should try to take some steps, whatever steps, those could be baby steps or giant steps, or wherever you are in your personal lives, or try to create awareness, and but to take care of earth in whatever way. I mean, there are ways we can control in our own lives, like to say, for example, to reduce the usage of plastic. That could be one thing, or using eco-friendly products in our day-to-day usage, compared to using styrofoams or things which will not degrade biologically, and dumping all those on Mother Earth, or whatever. We create a lot of pollution in the way of that we are living in our modern living, the airplanes, and even the house where we are living with all insulation and heating. I mean, we are creating pollution by just living in these, in the developed countries, a lot of pollution. But we can try to see whatever else we can change in our lives, to become more earth friendly in our way of living, and really show that we actually treat earth as a mother. That there, I know of devotees, some temples who have taken some initiatives for sustainability, and they're trying their at their level. But I mean, there are so many factors. It's not very easy. It's not a easy thing to change at all. But I think the best change comes from individual people. So we can try to see, introspect, and see whatever else, what if we can make any baby steps, take any baby steps to help Mother Earth in some way. So I think we are almost at the end of the time. I thought we could cover three things, but yeah, this itself was a big part. Talking about the seven mothers listed in the Shastras. I guess I can stop here instead of starting the other points. I mean, we discussed, at least I listed those out in the beginning, like how this verse is talking about how Lord Krishna treats everyone equally. There is a verse, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu Name Dvesho Stiyona Priha. So Lord Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, that he is equal to everyone. He's trying to stop the sharing. Yeah, that he's equal to everyone. So he's showing that by example here, that he is treating his stepmothers same as his own mother. In fact, Lord Krishna, there are chapters in Bhagavatam, in Krishna book, from the 10th canto, that Lord Krishna would do a lot of duties as a normal householder, which there was no need for him to do that, but just to set an example. He would get up early in the Brahma Muhurta time, and then he would, clean himself up and meditate on himself, and worship the deities, and so on. Like he did a lot of things just to set an example for the remaining people. Although there was no need for him to do anything of that sort, but he even says that in another place in Bhagavad Gita, that there is no need for work for him in 3.22, but he does so just to set example for people. Because if he doesn't do, people will just take that example, um, that, oh, Krishna did not do, so we also don't have to do. Many people, they want to imitate Lord Krishna, and they'll pick and choose things that they want to imitate Lord Krishna on. But the instruction for us is to follow Lord Krishna's footsteps, not try to imitate him. So that becomes one thing, like how do you know which actions of Lord Krishna should you follow, and which actions of Lord Krishna should you not follow? He he lifted the Govardhan hill. Can we do that? but many people, they want to follow the things like Ras Leela. Like Krishna had so many wives, so I can also have that many wives. They don't know that Krishna was present at the same time with all the wives at the same time. It was not that Krishna was enjoying with one wife on one day, another one on another day. He was with each and every wife at the same time. Even in the Ras Leela, he was with every gopi at the same time, simultaneously. And you are not able to do that, but that's the low understanding of people where they want to pick and choose things without proper understanding. So, how do we know which things should we follow? Like here, we are saying we should try to follow Lord Krishna's example that you should respect your stepmother. But then we say you should not try to follow the Ras Leela. So, how do we know what to? So, for that, the answer is go by Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. See what your Guru is saying, what the Shastras are saying, and what the sadhus are saying. So basically, from there you can understand what are the things that you should follow and what are the things that you should not. So with this, I think I'll stop. It's 9 o'clock. Thank you so much. Uh, thank you so much, all of you. If you have any comments, any corrections, please let me know. Otherwise, yes, we can stop for now.
Thank you for exploring the 7 types of mothers. I really like the example. They're all nice. I really like the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the nurse for the entire world. That was very nice. I was thinking when you were speaking about the cow, it's interesting because, you know, biologically, we're the only animal or living being that takes the milk from another living being that I know of. And so that shows how special a cow is. It doesn't occur anywhere else in the nature where you won't see a lion drinking from the milk of a female deer or vice versa. So, I mean, that's very unique and shows how special the cow is. Thank you very much. Other comments, questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much, Mataji. Wonderful lecture. I was wondering, like, for each different types of mothers, right? Like, you gave different analogies from scriptures. Like, that was so wonderful. Thank you for enlightening us with this lecture, Mataji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I just heard many other lectures and I copied from those senior devotees. So it was not my manufacturing at all. But yeah, it was a good meditation to just go through all those lectures on this topic. And yeah.
Especially when you mentioned about Vishwambara and Putana example, are so connecting.
Yes.
And especially when I was thinking like nurse, like what analogies we might have, but Putana is a very good example. Thank you.
I mean, when I was a child, in fact, even when I had my children, in India, we can get a lot of help, but there are some specific ladies which would come and help the newborn baby in many homes. I remember so when I was a child at that time, there was a dhai, there was a lady who would do this kind of job only at various people's homes. And yeah, so the nurse, and I think there are examples in scriptures also where there were nurses for princes, for kings' sons, who would stay for longer time, not just during the infancy time, but even for longer time. But yeah, that example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was really enlightening for me also. I just heard it from another senior devotee. Okay.
Okay, should we end? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You look very blissful. Children do that. Love of a mother. So thank you all. Please join us I don't know how the roads are near there, but drive safe. Come to temple as you
They're
be
all
safe
clear
you
here
can.
now. Yeah. At least in
Yeah.
Bethany, they look very clear.
Yeah, in our area, there's still ice just because the trees,
Oh, okay.
you know, they kind of result in colder temperature. But I think where there's flat roads, it should be pretty safe. So, visit to the temple. Today's Christmas, and so Srila Prabhupada described Lord Jesus Christ as Shaktivesh Avatar, who gave selflessly of himself and demonstrated qualities of tolerance and humility, giving respect for others. So a very wonderful example for all of us. So what better way than to come to temple, hear Krishna Katha and chant the holy name. Thank you. Take care. Hare Krishna. Dāmodar Līlā Mataji ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You narrated